You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast
You realize what you've done?
with Rich Liebig
The real gangster plays his cards right.
and Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the crispy noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you the most interesting bits in the world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and what else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. We do have some topics prepared for you in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news, but that doesn't prevent us from going off the deep end and going on to random topics. Thank you for joining us on another interesting episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We do have some interesting news to get to, so we'll jump into that in just a bit. But before we do that, we'd like to do a little personal bit, let you know what we're up to, what we did in the past week. So, Mikey, how you doing, my friend? What did you, what trouble did you get up to?
Trouble? No trouble.
Oh, that sucks. So much for that. Trying to be interesting here.
No trouble. But I did get a chance to get together with some friends over the weekend. We hung out a little bit. I hung out with JB and his fiance. They cooked dinner for me, which was delicious.
Bruno cooked dinner?
Not John Bruno, his fiance.
So Bruno, because that's a shame, because that would have been.
No, I don't let John Bruno cook for me. That's dangerous.
You sure about that?
I remember when Michael was a bitch. And now he's still a bitch.
I love this part.
Mike was a bitch.
I mean, it's catchy.
Mike was a bitch. He is a bitch. Yeah, you know it. Woo!
The best part is he came up with that literally
That was
on the
on
spot.
the fly.
We were testing the equipment, getting the podcast ready one day, and he just happened to jump on. I had the recorder going.
Yeah.
And bam, just like that, he launched into that musical medley of
You could tell he'd been working on it for a while. You know, he'd been sitting and stewing on that.
That
Oh
came
no.
off.
No.
You think he had that?
Oh yeah.
That's what he does when he's by himself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
When-
gonna write this song about Mike.
when you're that close to a sibling, that's all that's running through your mind 24/7. Apparently, at least for
okay.
John Bruno. But no,
I'm giving him more credit.
you're giving him more credit. Okay.
It seemed to me like he came up with that off the top of the head. So I'm gonna say he did, and that was amazing.
Okay. Well, good job, JB. But no, it was not him who cooked dinner. It was Neha who cooked dinner, and it was delicious. And then
Thank you for the food report.
It was. And then on Sunday, I got together with a mutual friend, and we hung out all day, and we got a chance to catch up finally, after. That's the great thing. This weekend, my girlfriend was away on a bachelorette weekend, so she got to catch up with all her friends, for the first time in a long time. And so I spent the weekend catching up with different groups of people for the
So you
for the
were
first time in
a
long
free
time.
man.
I was a free man. Yeah, when the girlfriend's away, the boys will play. I don't know.
Playing with the boys.
Playing with the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna play some beach volleyball this weekend.
No, I didn't play any beach volleyball, but I did spend some time.
You don't want to give in to your desire.
No.
Playing with the boys.
I've tried playing volleyball before. It's ugly. It's not at all like Top Gun.
No.
No, it's a lot of grunting and and flailing and like missing the ball and
And then you don't go over to your teacher's house afterwards and take a shower.
No.
That always freaked me out a little bit.
Just like, hey, can I grab a quick shower?
Yeah, he does it so like nonchalantly.
It's so awkward.
Like what? Yeah, I don't know.
When Top Gun 2 comes out,
There
There has to be
a volleyball scene.
I promise you, Rich, we will go see it in theaters,
Yes.
and we will review it on the podcast.
Yes, there has to be a volleyball scene and another weird
And a weird
pickup line
yeah.
or weird seduction technique of I don't know. That was just weird. Come over to your house. You mind if I get a shower?
It was very forward.
Yeah.
In the 80s, there were no boundaries.
No, apparently not.
But no, I didn't get a chance to play any beach volleyball, but I did get a chance to watch a movie. My girlfriend didn't want to watch Tenet from Christopher Nolan, and I'm starting to understand why she probably didn't want to see it. Based on my viewing of it and your review of it, I can safely say that Tenet was a terrible movie.
Yeah,
it was not good. I mean, everything you said was true.
Thank you. I appreciate you validating my movie reviews.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we spent a lot of time watching and talking about movies, so yes. But Tenet was awful.
There you go.
I would love to say, give a spoiler warning, but I don't think that I'd be able to spoil this movie even if I tried.
Yeah, because it's difficult to explain.
I can't even tell you I don't even know if there was a twist.
There was. You just probably, I don't know. You probably picked up on it, but it's probably like meh.
It's not a great twist because it's like what you assume every time manipulation movie twist is. It's secretly the guy. Like it's always been the guy. The guy is the one who went forward and backward in time. Is this the spoiler?
The guy is the guy.
The guy is the guy, and the guy did the guy things. Can you believe it?
That's the spoiler.
This is what I think Christopher Nolan did. He got a whiteboard. He wrote time stuff, and he threw it at the people, and he said, make a movie with the time stuff. And they did, and that's what happened. It was Tenet. At one point, they explicitly say, don't try to understand it. When a character tells me, don't try to understand it, red flag, nuh-uh, big no-no, because it shows that they do not understand the rules of the universe.
Yeah.
In the universe. So how am I as a viewer supposed to understand the rules in the universe when they, one, tell me not to, and two, don't even bother to attempt explaining it? So they're like, it moves forward and backward at the same time. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, thank you.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
There you go. That's the award you would give to Tenet?
I felt dumber. They named the main character protagonist.
Yeah.
I was watching with subtitles. His name was protagonist.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name.
Christopher Nolan is high on his own supply. He literally thinks that anything he can do, if he makes it weird enough, people
can get away with.
People will like it. And I feel like he is so, and you brought up this point, so staunchly blinded by the whole idea of film.
Yeah.
Right?
An auteur of the cinema.
He's such an auteur that he forgot about storytelling.
Right. My criticism of this movie is this movie should have been a 7-part miniseries, like a Mayor of Easttown,
Yes.
something like that, where he could have went in depth into the world of Tenet and fully explain the rules of how I
don't think he understood though.
the time work, and it just didn't. It comes off as too much information, too fast, too complicated, and it doesn't work.
It's weird. They had these huge expo dumps. They go down Exposition Avenue, but they don't.
Can I do that? Expo dumps.
Expo dumps. But here's the thing. They go down Exposition Avenue and they don't actually explain anything.
Not really. Yeah, it needed to be a mini series so they could
but
go over
the
some
bad
of this
guy
into more
wasn't
deep
the bad guy
detail.
wasn't bad.
No.
The good guy was ineffective because I didn't care about him. He doesn't even have a name. He had no personality. He was just a dude. You know?
He was a dude.
He was a dude who did the dude things.
Other times as the dude and fixing other dude things.
It's really a shame though because you look back at Christopher Nolan's what was the one movie? The Memento,
Yeah.
Prestige,
Uh-huh.
Inception.
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant. The Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes.
Also fantastic. Interstellar.
Yes.
Starts to wibble wobble a little bit.
I like Interstellar.
Interstellar's still good, but you start to see the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Then Dunkirk was fine, if not completely forgettable. And then Tenet was just off the rails, and not off the rails in a good Inception way. Like off the rails, like he's completely lost grasp of what making a good movie is.
Tenet, I think is his worst film
By far.
Yeah,
by far.
So I think we're in agreement on our Tenet review.
It took me 5 hours to watch that film, Rich.
Yeah, it was a long movie too.
It was 2.5 hours, and I had to do laundry in the middle, and I had to keep rewinding because I'm like, what in the hell are they talking about?
Yeah. So there you go. Our quick review there of Tenet. If you haven't seen Tenet, we'll just say it's worthy of a skip.
Harumph.
Yep.
Rich, what have you been getting up to?
Let's see. What did I do? I don't know. That's a good.
All right then. What?
Yeah. We finished. We're watching Lucifer right now, so I definitely love that show on Netflix.
Okay.
Haven't finished it yet. So we're coming up on that. So something I do want to get into. I just realized there is something I want to mention for this week, and it's some sad news that we heard from my the station that I work for, WMMR. Our former music director, he goes by the nickname Rabbi because of his strong Jewish faith. He always wears a yarmulke, or is it yarmulke? I think it is.
Yarmulke, yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
and he always had the 93.3 MMR logo stitched into the yarmulke, and that's how you could see like where he was like from far away. Oh, I see the back of his head. There he is. He's right there. Unfortunately, we received word that he passed away, and it was due to COVID complications, which is kind of a little shocking. We're kind of in this mode that we're starting to get back to normal life, and we're thinking that we're coming out of COVID. Unfortunately for him, he contracted COVID late in 2020, and he just couldn't shake it off. He just couldn't fight it. At one point, he went on a ventilator, and apparently that's like you can recover from it, but it's also a really bad sign that you probably you're in failing health, and he just couldn't shake it off. And then we got the word this week that he had unfortunately passed away. I posted a couple photos on my Twitter feed if you want to check that out. But he was just a great dude. A rock and roll encyclopedia. I mean, he just knew everything that was going on with any rock band that was touring or that was active. He could tell you what was the last 3 news stories he read off of every single band. For me personally, he was a big Ghost fan, so I always would check in with him. I was a little jealous that he got a photo with Papa 3 back the weekend that the Pope came to Philadelphia.
Nice.
That same weekend, Ghost played one of their first shows in Philadelphia, and I couldn't go. So he always had that over me that he got to meet Papa 3. But he was just a cool dude, and it's just it's a really sudden and tragic loss. Just one of those too young. He was only in his early 40s. It's just very shocking news to hear that he had passed away. But something that kind of is an inadvertent silver lining is you kind of get to see when somebody dies suddenly. You see the butterfly effect of how many lives that he touched, especially in this era of social media. It's amazing. All throughout today, I've been checking my Facebook feed, my Instagram feed, my Twitter feed, and just every time I check, it's a new post about Rabbi, and but it's from somebody that I wouldn't have put like 2 and 2 together.
Right.
That he had an impact on that person. So like off the top of my head would be fellow interns, fellow members of the promotion staff at MMR, even the photographer. He had a wonderful write-up about him. So it's interesting to see how it kind of, that butterfly effect, you do make an impact on the people that you meet. And Rabbi was an example of that. And the outpouring of grief over his death has been a tribute to that. So it was a little bit of a weird day to hear that, somebody that I, rocked out at concerts with is no longer with us. It's a strange feeling, but he was just a good dude, a rock and roll encyclopedia, and I'll always remember him as a guy like that. So I wanted to get that off my chest. I didn't know when I was going to do that at some point, but I figured why not? Right in the intro, get it out of the way.
Well, very nicely said, and far too young.
Yeah,
far too young.
I know we're trying to get back to normalcy, but again, just another reminder, I think, to everyone: make sure you have your COVID vaccine in check and you got everything with that squared away, because it can still come back and hit you.
Yeah, every once in a while, as we're getting back to the movies and restaurants and doing stuff together, we're reminded that there are still people impacted by it every day, and so we still need to be careful.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I wanted to address that at some point. So I chose the intro. There you go. I just made that up. Those are the rules I just made up. So
it is our podcast, so we can do whatever we want.
That's right. Okay. How about with that now taken care of? How about we go back to our originally scheduled program? We've got some sports news on deck for you. It's time for the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yes, sports coming at you in your face. And we're going to knock out a quick topic in 2 minutes or less in the 2-minute drill. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, clock is armed. Here we go. This one's an update.
Yes, it is. It's a Major League Baseball update. MLB is moving forward with the umpires enforcing new rules on banned substances for pitchers, allowing multiple searches and pat-downs if there's suspicion of foul play. The first offense is a 10-game suspension without pay, and then greater punishments for repeat offenders. Rich, it seems like they really want to crack down on this. They're taking it very seriously. Multiple searches and pat-downs. I mean, one of the things that I've always harped on with baseball is pace of play. Is this going to completely obliterate pace of play?
I think this has to have some sort of negative effect at making the games longer in terms of that aspect. Because literally, these umpires are going to be like sheriffs.
Yeah.
They have the full authority to search any player that they think is hiding banned substances to make these pitches go crazier.
Right. And it's going to be hard for them to tell and discern, who they should pat down unless they pat down every pitcher at the beginning of every inning. I mean, every time they come in and out of,
Yeah, like how often are going to be these checks? Is it going to be every inning? Is it going to be
hypothetically? It could be each pitcher at the beginning of each of their half of the inning.
Yeah. What relief pitchers? Are they going to do it for every single relief pitcher that comes in?
Simple solution: umpire by the dugouts, new umpires by the dugouts, and pat them down. Right before they go back on during commercial breaks or whenever they're switching fields.
Yeah, they're going to need to. I mean,
you can't have them do it during the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that could take a while to check.
Yeah.
How is this going to be implemented? It's going to be weird.
I see backlash to this.
Yeah, but I think it's a good sign for baseball realizing that something is wrong this season. They had to fix something. It's too little offense in the league this year.
Got to get those bats going.
Yep. And there you go. The buzzer went off, so we are done with the 2-minute drill. All right, so there you go. We talked about baseball. Mike, you fulfilled your non-football quota.
Yes.
So we can now move into some football talk.
It's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
There you go.
That's right.
Mike's favorite sound clip is back too. I found that sound clip.
I love it.
So
because that's how I feel about football. It's just effing football, Rich.
Yes.
But with football comes controversy
and drama.
You got to have controversy and drama in football.
This is like the new soap opera.
It really is. This is days of our football lives.
Every week, it's a new take. What is happening with Aaron Rodgers?
The Green Bay quarterback controversy continues, of course, in this next installment. Now Jordan Love is getting vocal about the situation. The young guy getting vocal. This is adding wood to the fire. When asked if he's ready to start week 1, he adamantly replied, absolutely 100%. I'm getting the extremely valuable reps. This is why I'm here. I was drafted to play quarterback. I'm definitely ready. End quote. Rich. What's up with this? The guy, the second-year quarterback, is now kind of putting Rodgers on blast and being like, look, I'm ready to go, old man.
So you got to take this, on both sides of the coin here. So number one, you want your quarterback, if it is Jordan Love, you do want him to be confident and to say,
Right.
yes, I can lead the team.
He's got to be a leader.
Right. I can lead this team if you don't get Aaron Rodgers back. So
Right.
that's fine. But then on the flip side of the coin, in the middle of this, he says, I'm getting the extremely valuable reps. This is why I'm here. That is taking it to another level, that he's now giving reasons as to why he has earned the right to be the QB1 for the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
I thought that was an interesting
I was drafted
elevation.
to play quarterback.
Yes, that's an interesting elevation of the stakes now.
Right. This is why I'm here, essentially saying I'm here to take over.
Yeah. And if Aaron Rodgers, wants to be a crybaby and stay at home or stay in Hawaii, well, guess what? Good for him. I'm going to take over for the Packers.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting that Jordan Love kind of threw a little bit of oil into this fire.
Yeah. But he's right, though. This is why he was. I don't think anybody thinks that they just traded up in the draft to take Jordan Love to just have him be, a bench warmer. That
Right.
Their plan was eventually for him to start. Maybe this is a little bit sooner than they would have anticipated, but this is why he's here.
Yeah.
He is Aaron Rodgers' replacement.
And here's another thing that I think everyone keeps forgetting. They went out of their way to pick up Jordan Love.
They traded up.
They traded up to get Jordan Love.
Right. He didn't fall to them. They're like, we got to go and get this guy in the first round.
Yeah.
It's not like the Eagles snagging Hurts in the second. Green Bay went up and got him.
Yeah. So they clearly think he is the quarterback of the future. The question is do they want to play him this early? But right now, they may not have a choice.
I say sure, because now the narrative has changed. Before it was, is Jordan Love ready? Now it's, he's saying he's ready. Green Bay is saying he's ready. It's still all this mental chess between Green Bay and the Rodgers camp.
Yeah.
And it just continues to tank his trade value.
Do you think Rodgers will consider either retiring or staying out of the 2021 season?
That's a great question. Everything I've read about Rodgers says that he's very stubborn. He's a competitor. I don't think that he wants to walk away. I don't think he wants this to be how he goes out. So I guess it really just depends how serious he is about his demands.
Because maybe he just doesn't play in 2021 and then they trade him.
Maybe.
It's interesting.
If I were Green Bay, I would call his bluff and start actively shopping him.
Yeah, but at this point, do you think you're going to get the trade value that you would have gotten before?
I mean, the trade value shot.
Yeah.
I mean, if they wait until next year, it's going to be shot even further because he's going to be a year older and a year of no action.
Yeah.
If they got to trade, I think they got to trade him before the season. I mean, unless, like you said, I think it was last week or the week before, a team gets desperate in the first couple of weeks. Maybe somebody gets injured.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're hoping for that. But at that point, the salary cap hits already. This is just a lose-lose situation, except for Jordan Love.
Yeah, he's going to get the starting nod at this rate because Aaron Rodgers apparently does not want to play another snap in Green Bay, it seems like.
Yeah, and the Packers continue to say the absolute wrong thing at the wrong times. Packers president Mark Murphy randomly said this about Rodgers, quote, a complicated fella. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. Just, wow.
What does that mean? I mean, you're talking about read between the lines.
Add another layer of ice. I mean, wow.
Yeah, clearly there's trouble in paradise, but is this now, is the divorce official? Like, what's happening here?
I don't know, but that is not something you want to say about somebody who still could be your starting quarterback.
I guess you could say anybody's a complicated fella. I mean, people are complicated.
Yeah, but coming from the Packers president, the guy that's literally
there's a little
making
bit, there's
the
a little
decisions,
bit more. There's more weight there. Yeah,
I think that's kind of a classy screw Rodgers. I'm getting sick and tired of this news story.
Right. Between the lines, he's saying, Rodgers is making this complicated.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get sick of this.
Yeah. So we will see. I said it. People can attest to this. Months ago, I said they should have traded him.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this comes to fruition as another week passes in the days of our lives.
The days of our football lives.
That is the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. This is the story of the NFL offseason.
Gives us something to talk about, at least.
It's crazy. And every week it's like something new. Somebody drops another
Somebody does
statement.
something weird or stupid. Yeah.
It's weird. So we'll report on more as that happens as we move on in the off season. All right, but then we got more football news. Can you believe this, Mike?
I can believe it. And this one I'm actually excited to talk about when you originally text this to me. Why don't you tell us what's happening in college football?
Yeah, not NFL.
Right.
Mike is getting excited over college football.
I say it ain't so, but it's true.
Wow. This is going to be a weird summer because Mike is getting ready for college football. That's because college football has announced that they have plans to expand the playoff season as early as 2023.
Yeah.
So this could be the new format starting in just a year or two, or 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So we would expand the playoff system from 4 to 12 college teams. 12 college teams would be in the official National College Football Playoff. They will determine it as such. The top 6 ranked conference champions they are in, so that places importance on winning your conference. So all the major conferences are happy that, that is still the priority number one.
Right.
Then after that, the College Football Playoff Committee then selects the next 6 best-ranked teams.
Okay.
So this kind of borrows a little bit from March Madness.
It does.
That you have 2 ways to make it to the playoff. You either win your conference championship or you get voted in by some sort of third-party overseeing committee. So you get six of the top-ranked conference champions, then 6 of the best football teams selected by the College Football Playoff Committee, and then they are ranked from 1 to 12. Those seeds will matter because if you get seeds 1, 2, 3, or 4, you get a bye.
Makes sense.
So that's good. But then seeds 5 through 12 will meet in the first round of the playoffs. And then something I forgot is only the conference champions get the bye week.
Okay.
So if you're one of the ones that are just picked from the College Football Playoff Committee, you do not get a bye week. You do not get a chance at a bye week.
The example that you gave was
Notre Dame.
Independent schools like Notre Dame.
Right. So Notre Dame can never get a bye week unless they join a conference.
So, they could get off their high horse and just join a conference. I mean, it's completely up to them.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think they want to do that.
You can't bitch and moan, right? If you want to be independent, then be independent. All right, but you got to take everything that comes with it.
Yep, you want that sweet money, so there you go.
Yeah.
So independents can qualify for the playoffs, but they cannot earn a bye since they cannot win a conference. So that's
they're not in a conference; they can't win it.
Right. So that's kind of the negotiation.
Right.
That's what they've agreed upon for teams like that. So overall, that's pretty much it, and then it goes into your traditional playoff format. I like this. I think this is the way it should have been at the start.
I think it's fantastic because it's literally the NFL method.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 12 teams in one collected pool instead of divided into 6. 6 in each conference, like in the NFL.
Right.
But I always said, you can back me up on this, the NFL had the perfect system. Because it's different now. And college football is replicating that formerly perfect system. I think, maybe 12 in the NFL was a good number because there were 32 teams. I think 12 is still a little tight for the amount of college teams out there, but I think it really will then, focus on the very best of the best.
Yep.
Instead of having a college bowl game for every single friggin' school out there.
Yeah.
Montgomery County Community College bowl game. It's nonsense.
Yeah, the
Tostitos Bowl.
The
State Farm Bowl, the Coca-Cola Bowl, the Sunshine, with the Rose Bowl, this bowl, that bowl.
Taco Bell Toilet Bowl.
Yeah.
That should have been a thing.
I mean, it was a bowl game for everything. So I like the playoff structure. I like the fact that, you prioritize conference wins. The 4 best get those buys. So it, again, incentivizes to get the best overall records. And then, you're letting in more teams instead of just, 4 previously?
Yeah, it was only 4.
I mean, that's nothing for the amount of college teams out there. 12 is still very few, but it's, much better than it was before.
That's at least more variety.
Right, exactly. More variety, and allows other teams to compete. So hopefully you don't see the same 2 or 3 teams win, in rotation. It's not Alabama, Ohio State, whatever it is.
It still probably will be.
It probably still will be,
but at least there's a chance now.
Right. Any given Sunday or Saturday, I guess.
Or Monday for the national championship game.
Whatever. Just pick a day. College football.
They're all over the place.
I say that, but pro football plays like 4 days of the week.
Yeah.
So I like this. I like this system. It's exciting because it makes college football more manageable for people like me who's just doesn't follow it at all. Then you can sort of have some understanding of which teams are actually the best teams. Because how do you determine who's the best team when there's 100 million bowl games? Now I know this team's the first best, this team's the 5th best, and they whittle themselves down until there's a singular champion.
Yeah.
Not a whole bunch of individual champions.
Yep. So definitely excited to see a 12-team playoff system. I think it's definitely more fair, and it will be more exciting when that happens. Allegedly could be as early as 2023, too.
Think of the marketing opportunities.
Yeah, it could be very soon. All right, but before we go into a break, we are going to go into a side dish. Yep.
That's right.
So there you go. Wacky sound effect means we're going into a random side dish, something that wasn't entirely prepared, but Mike prepared for this.
I prepared for it. Video viewers may have noticed the little Easter egg here leaning up against my computer. It is a pamphlet that says South Korea on it because we're doing another snack taste test. This time I got a new box. This one is from South Korea. I don't know if anybody can see that in the video.
There you go. You
South
got South Korea.
And we have 2 snacks to try.
All right.
We got a salty and a sweet one. What do you want first?
Let's do salty.
Salty? Why don't you tell the folks what we're eating then?
All right. This looks like yif.
Yeah, it's South Korean. I don't think you can read that.
Yif. That's what it looks
So
like.
it is Korean.
But then on the bottom it says spicy chicken corn puffs.
They are Korean fried chicken balls. So they're
Okay.
fried chicken flavored corn balls.
Okay.
So what do you?
There's a lot of ingredients.
Okay. What is it made out of?
There's cooked chicken powder in this.
Is there?
I don't know what the hell that
What
means.
does that mean?
I don't know. Cooked chicken powder. So
All right.
are you ready to...
That sounds alarming. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and open
Am
that?
I allowed to officially open this?
Yeah, open it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't open this.
Do you need? Oh my God, I should have pre-opened it. I didn't think of this.
Yeah. I also didn't want to rip it and send corn puffs everywhere.
I got it.
Good job. Mike's got it.
All right, so I got a small handful.
All right, Mike's
you
the man.
take a small handful.
All right. Looks like cheese puffs.
They do look like cheese puffs, but they're not cheesy, which I appreciate because sometimes cheese puffs get that dust everywhere.
Okay,
All right,
so are we going to
let's do a mouthful. Ready?
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's do it. Fried chicken balls.
Hooray, South Korea. All right, here we go. All right.
Oh, that's weird.
It kind of tastes like Captain Crunch.
It does. The spice takes a while to develop. I'm getting a little bit of that heat. But the corn puff flavor. Oh wow, that heat really builds.
It's coming. Oh.
Oh yeah, it sits on the tongue. It's getting me in the back of the throat too.
Yeah, it's like Captain Crunch meets General Tso's chicken.
That's yeah. Because you know what it is? It is. It's like a sweet and sour, like sweet and spicy type combination. But the corn puff flavor is so potent. I'm not getting the chicken.
So I'm gonna say that was actually pretty good.
It's sweet and spicy. That's delicious, actually.
So if you want to search for this on your own, spicy chicken corn puff. You can buy one of these spicy chicken corn puffs if you find it.
It started out weird, but I quite like that now.
It's distributed by Universal Yums in Roseland, New Jersey.
Yeah. So you can go to their website. I swear this is not product placement, but you can go to their website and buy individual snacks so you can subscribe to the boxes.
We could drive there. It's in
Should
Jersey.
we drive there and be like, listen, we talk about this like 2 weeks in a row. You got to give us some free stuff.
We want free chicken balls.
Give us your chicken balls
now.
I know you got them in there.
Take that.
So we had our salty. So now we got to have the sweet.
Let's have the sweet.
We have Choco Corn Puffs here.
Okay.
Hold that up to the camera.
Oh, this is the one with the chick on it.
There's an angry cartoon character on it.
So she's wait. First off, I'll do it on the video feed here. So she's got a happy face there, but then on the other side, she's very angry and she's like, "You better eat this." Yeah. You. Yes, you. You better eat this right now.
She wants us to eat them. These are cocoa and coconut puffs. They were voted the best snack from Korea.
All right, so I gotta admit they look a little weird.
They they look like
yeah, they look like little turds.
I was gonna say they look like poop cheese puffs.
Yeah, this is a little not visually appetizing here.
No. It's not at all what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This write-up here in this little book says they might even be more addictive than Hershey's.
Oh, what? They're calling out Hershey's?
They're coming at Hershey's.
Oh.
We can't stand for that being from Pennsylvania.
No.
All right, let's
they
try.
crossed the line.
Let's try these.
Does it really say that in the book?
It does, yeah. Look, the last line.
No.
On the bottom there. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They were voted the best in Korea. Cocoa and coconut puffs.
Whoa! It says it claims American soldiers in the Korean War preferred this over Hershey's chocolate.
Wow. All right, well,
Oh,
let's see. There's only one way to know.
I don't know. This is blasphemy as far as I'm concerned.
Are we gonna see if this is better than Hershey's?
I don't know. This is like turds.
Let's try our turd chocolate.
All right,
Ready?
Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like. I mean,
You don't like it? Oh, I like it.
It's
It's not better than Hershey's.
Right. That's what I'm comparing it to Hershey's. That's the problem.
Right.
See, this is my problem when you have too much gutso. You know, you're coming after the champ. You better have a champion product. It's all right, but it's not on the same level. I would never rank this on the same thing as Hershey's.
So you know what I noticed, and I think this might be why, because we actually tried one before the show too, a different snack. The one thing I'm noticing about these snacks, these South Korean snacks, is that they have very low sugar content. Like these are chocolate and coconut. It's supposed to be like a sweet thing. It only has 9 grams of sugar. You know, we're used to things with a lot more sugar in them here, like really sweet, like milk chocolate, you know, type stuff. This is very mild. This is very mild flavored.
And that's why it's America.
That's right, damn it.
America's better, not this.
Remember,
crap.
folks, in America, bigger's always better.
Yeah,
That
and
includes
sugar.
your waistline when you eat 30 grams of sugar in a candy
I want
bar.
more sugar. Give me that sugar.
Give me that sugar.
I am your neighbor.
I-
Here we go. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Yes.
Like Lucy Liu.
America.
America. You said that, and in the recesses of my mind, I was like, oh, Outcast.
There you go, Outcast. Yep.
Shake it, shake it like a
Perfect.
Polaroid picture.
Perfect.
Yeah. So overall, South Korea.
So they're both good. I would say that does not live up to. I would say the chocolate puff does not live up to Hershey's.
Okay, so it doesn't beat Hershey, but it's still good. And then what about the chicken balls?
I'm more blown away by the spicy corn.
You like
puffs.
salty. You like savory food.
I like all foods.
You like all foods?
Yeah, I don't discriminate.
Okay.
But
These were good.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like a General Tso's chicken Captain Crunch.
Right, because initially I eat it, I'm like, this is cereal, and then all of a sudden the heat started building and the sweet and spicy started building. I was like, okay, because I initially said that's weird.
I just realized that sounds disgusting. But
What?
Actually,
General Tso's Captain Crunch.
Yeah, but it's not too bad. It actually works.
That's a lot of Asian foods have that sweet and spicy, sweet and sour combination, and that's what you get in the chicken ball corn puff.
Yeah, so
Pretty good stuff.
there you go. South Korea, pretty decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
There you go. And that will wrap up the side dish. Literally a side dish. We actually
Yum.
ate.
Yeah.
Literally a side dish. But for right now, that was 2 segments that we knocked back to back to kick off this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. So we need to take a little bit of a break and regroup so we can come at you with some entertainment news, which we have a lot of. with E3 wrap-up and news. And then I have the non-fortune cookie odd news still to come. We have plenty more show when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about 22-year-old Matthew Kyle Letham, and he decided to call police at 4:45 in the morning because he couldn't find a ride home after the bar at 4:45 in the morning. But that is not the actual oddity of this story. Police encountered Matthew Letham on the scene, and that's when they noted that this dude actually has a tattoo of the state of Florida in between his two eyebrows.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I have his mugshot. So here we go.
He's literally Florida man.
Yes.
He's like a superhero Florida man, and that is like his logo.
He is Mr. Florida Man. So
I mean, it's the most harmless Florida story we've ever had.
Yeah, except for the fact that dude has a tattoo
stupid
that will last the rest of his life that he cannot hide.
You cannot undo that. Every job interview he goes to, the very first thing they're going to see and question is the Florida tattoo. Yeah.
It's literally like, can I touch it? Like, it's right there.
You know the scene in Austin Powers Goldmember? The guy who has the mole?
Yeah.
Moly, 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 moly. Yeah. It is that, except with Florida on his forehead. Is anybody more proud of their home state than that guy?
Nope. Can't say it. I can't think of anybody else.
Nope.
So,
I love Pennsylvania, but not that much.
No, I do not want. Pennsylvania is a big state too. I do not want that on my forehead.
It's very square or rectangular. What's the weirdest state to get tattooed to a forehead? I think. What do you think would be the weirdest one? I mean, I think Florida, because the way it's shaped.
Florida's pretty weird. California would be weird because it's
very long,
and then it juts out.
No, Michigan.
Ooh, yeah. Because they got
Michigan.
all those like Great Lakes and stuff.
Yeah, and it's split in half.
Ugh, yeah, that would not be good.
That'd be a weird one.
Yeah. Ugh.
Alaska. Oh, Oklahoma. I was going to say Alaska.
Oklahoma, you have to get the box, and then you have to get that little dinky panhandle that goes the other half of your head.
You're literally making yourself a unibrow, and then like it has like a little hat on it.
Yeah. Ew.
What about Alaska? You have that whole chain of islands coming off the side. It's going to like go around the side of your head almost.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest conversation we've ever had in 8 years of podcast. I think it's safe to say that talking about the weirdest state to tattoo to your forehead, probably the dumbest thing we've ever talked about.
It's 2021, man.
And we were like actually analyzing. You're like, oh yeah, and the islands, and we're like, yeah, that makes sense. There's something fundamentally broken with us, Rich, in 2021.
It's 2021. Nothing makes sense anymore. It's
the
that
pandemic.
simple.
The pandemic's gone on too long, Rich. We've hit a breaking point.
Yeah. All right.
Next week we're both going to show up with states tattooed to our foreheads.
Dear God. Oh, yeah, we are back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Mike is eating the rest of the chicken corn puffs, you bastard. I like those.
Well, you got to get some.
Well, unfortunately, we have a podcast we got to run here.
What? Nobody ever told me this.
Yes, all right? We're trying to do this as succinctly as possible for our viewers and our podcast listeners. We can't afford to take long breaks. So you better enjoy those corn puffs right now because we got to jump right into the next segment of the Crispy Noodle podcast. We're moving from sports and side dishes into the world of entertainment in the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, so there you go. We've got our display set up from South Korea Foods.
We have far too much fun.
All right, so let's get into the portion of the show where Mike is going to let us know what you do need to keep an eye out for with entertainment, with movies and TV this weekend. It's time for Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mike, what do you have on the docket for us?
All right, This Week in Entertainment. First up, movies. A Pixar movie, Luca, premieres on Disney Plus this Friday. Set in an Italian seaside town, Luca is a coming-of-age story about two young sea monsters who set out to discover the world beyond the sea. It kind of has like Little Mermaid vibes, but in a much more lighthearted, cheeky sort of way. I'm really excited because, one, it's a Pixar movie, and two, it's set in an Italian town. I don't think I know of any animated movies that are set in an Italian setting, so I'm really excited to see Pixar's take on Italian culture and the Italian language and, you know, how they weave that into the story.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I can't think of
one other than like Pinocchio, but that's not really like, you know.
Yeah,
it's not Italian.
Do they do anything overly Italian in that?
No, just the name.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with there's no Italian.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like Disney.
No representation of Italians.
Yeah, that's why. I'm going to tell this to Rachel. This is why. Rachel's a huge Disney fan, and she always is upset with me that I don't know anything Disney.
Yeah, right. Well,
so this is why.
Wait. They got Brave. That's Irish and Scottish and...
Sure.
Is it? I don't know.
Sure.
I don't remember.
I'm not a Disney fan. I don't know.
I don't remember.
You're the Disney fan between the two of us.
I know, but I only saw Brave once. I don't remember.
Whatever.
Anyway, the point is, Italy.
Viva la Italia.
Luca. Disney Plus this Friday. Watch it, especially if you're Italian. And in TV, Kevin can F himself. That's right, Kevin can F himself in a new AMC dramedy premiering on Sunday, June 20th. It's starring Schitt's Creek Annie Murphy. This show follows a prototypical sitcom housewife who realizes her life and marriage aren't as great as they seem. This dark comedy is unique in that it blends single camera and multi-camera setups, and so far has done quite well with the critics. It's garnering solid 7s out of 10s. So if you're looking for a darker comedy, go check out Kevin Can F Himself, the new AMC dramedy premiering Sunday, June 20th. And that's what I'm looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mike, thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. So I just want to mention this little blurb that I saw that came across my news feed. We talked about this earlier during the pandemic, that it was rumored that Stallone was working on a remastered edition of the legendary and the iconic and the critically award-winning Rocky movie, Rocky IV, the arguably the best Rocky movie ever.
But why, though?
Because Rocky takes down communism. America. There you go.
Okay.
That's your answer. America.
Yes. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes. But this past week, it was confirmed Stallone has announced that Rocky IV, quote, the director's cut.
Not the Stallone cut?
It is him. He is the director, so it is technically Stallone cut.
It should be the Stallone cut. I thought that was the thing.
Maybe he didn't want to...
He don't want to seem too egotistical?
Right, or too much copying.
He makes an entire franchise starring himself. but now, he's going to take the ego down. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So Rocky IV, the director's cut, will hit theaters November 11th, 2021.
Well, I like the 11/11.
Yeah, that's right. It is 11/11.
However, I don't like that this is actually going to be a theatrical release. This is a cash grab.
Yeah.
This is as blatant a cash grab as I can see. Stallone might as well just be a panhandler. Right? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Come on.
So the only details that I can find that is confirmed as to what is different with the director's cut of Rocky IV is that the film has been remastered to 4K resolution and that the robot scenes, the classic robot scenes, have been removed.
What was the robot scene?
Rocky gives Paulie a robot in Rocky IV.
That's it?
That's the whole premise of the robot.
Are there other changes?
That's the only thing I can find that is absolutely confirmed.
Wow.
So we'll find out.
And how much are movie tickets?
$20.
Okay. So, just a little thought experiment. You could spend $20 to go see this movie in theaters. Or you could spend $20 and just buy a DVD copy of it and just watch the movie in 1080p instead of 4K and with a short robot scene.
There you go. Enjoy your robot scene.
It actually sounds worse, the director's cut, because who doesn't want a robot?
Apparently, people that love boxing, because that was one of the biggest criticisms of this movie.
If you love boxing, are you really watching Rocky IV?
I know people that will rewatch Rocky IV.
Or you're like a big boxing person. That's like, oh, I'm really into football. I'm gonna watch what's that Disney movie? Now I can't remember the name of it.
That Disney movie with football?
Yeah. Remember the Titans.
Oh.
Because it's not really about football.
Was that a Disney movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
See, you are a Disney fan. You
I've
take
just
it
been
back. Take it back, Rich.
I've just been watching the wrong movies.
Yeah. You like Marvel? You like Star Wars? You like...
That doesn't count, though. Disney.
That's Disney.
Disney. But Disney went out of their way to buy them. Like that. It wasn't in-house.
But right. But they've been manning those franchises for the past decade plus.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't remember this at the start of the show, what I was doing this weekend.
Oh.
I watched Loki. Speaking of all this stuff.
Oh, man. I still haven't had a chance to watch it. How is it?
It is fantastic.
Yeah? That's Disney for you.
I am on board. The first episode of Loki.
Does it do time better than Christopher Nolan?
Yes.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Loki, Disney Plus.
Absolutely. And I like the atmosphere they're creating with this, was it Time Variant Authority
or something like that?
It's like part Twin Peaks, part Control, part X-Files.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I
really got to get on that.
They're pulling the right strings on this Loki show. I'm very anxious to see where this goes.
They're going to connect this directly to the multiverse of madness, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's what I couldn't remember at the start of the show.
You know what? I'm going to bring it around. I'm going to tie it all together. Proof positive that Rocky IV is stupid, that we immediately switch topics to Disney and Loki. We're like, Rocky IV, let's talk about something else. That, folks, should indicate how much you should be excited for this movie.
You betrayed the law!
Did I, though?
I feel like I betrayed the law.
You betrayed the law!
I feel bad now, because this was supposed to be a Rocky segment, and I went into Disney. And
but there's nothing. It's the director's cut. There's nothing to it.
The evidence has been falsified!
There you go. That's what Rocky's going to fight for. The evidence has been falsified.
What's falsified is their attempt to convince us to spend $20 on a movie ticket for this.
The evidence has been falsified!
Stallone's very upset. Evidence has been falsified.
That'd be hilarious if people go see this movie and they're like, oh my God, it's the next Godfather.
And we made fun of it.
And he made fun of it. Yeah, he made like so many like small tweaks that it completely alters the course of the film, and it becomes like a breathtaking masterpiece on the level of The Godfather or Citizen Kane. People are openly
Or the Snyder Cut.
Or the Snyder Cut. People are openly weeping in the aisles of the movie theater.
I never saw it through the lens of Drago.
Yeah. And Stallone's just sitting in the back of every theater, just nodding, going, "Yeah,
I told you so.
I told you so.
I told you. You didn't give me any credit. Damn Crispy Noodle podcast."
He's sitting in the back of the King of Prussia movie theater, just like,
damn Crispy Noodle podcast didn't give me any sort of hope.
just waiting for us.
Just a little punchy over here because damn Crispy Noodle podcast.
Joke's on him. I'm not going to be in that theater.
I'm going to come visit his house.
He's gonna, oh, no.
Are you Michael Costanza? I'm going to come visit you. Hey, you're Michael Costanza.
Stallone,
Yeah,
come
there
at
you
me.
go.
No, don't do that.
There you go. Oh, I'm going to come at you. I'm going to come right over here. There will be blood.
Oh, my God. Wow. Jesus.
I mixed Rambo into this.
Yeah,
There you
right?
go. Okay, so there you go. I inadvertently threatened Mike. I think we should move on to the next topic. Mike, I hate to say this to you, but it's now your turn because we got some video game news. The big video game conference called E3 is starting to wrap up, but we have big headlines from the event already.
Yeah. E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, had a whole bunch of showcases this past weekend and earlier this week. And there's going to be showcases and conferences throughout the summer. But these were most of the big ones ended this week. So just a few quick headlines to kick things off. One of the big rumors right away was that Nintendo would reveal a Switch Pro console. They did not reveal the Switch Pro, which everyone was looking forward to. They were hoping for, a 4K handheld, better internal components to run, beefier games. But Nintendo didn't do that. They showed a lot of games, though. They showed a new Metroid Prime game. They showed remakes of classics like Mario Party Superstars. They had new footage from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to the wildly popular Switch Legend of Zelda game. I think it was kind of a misstep for Nintendo not to reveal a Switch Pro because I know that they don't want to compete with the other two in terms of power, but they still have to stay competitive, and they're kind of like a half step behind now at this point in the generational refresh. And, the Switch was very much underpowered compared to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and then the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One Pro, whatever it's called, I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever they're designating.
One X. So now it's way underpowered compared to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So I think Nintendo, maybe was due for a console refresh. They didn't do it. So, maybe this will be a 2022 thing and going forward. But Nintendo fans still have a lot to look forward to, a lot of great games that they showed off. In terms of other quick headlines, they showed off Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This is not a Nintendo thing, but just these are just general headlines. A new first-person shooter action-adventure game announced a decade too late, I think.
Yeah. Does anybody still care about Avatar?
I mean, would this be on your radar at all? If you went into a GameStop and you saw Avatar, you'd be like, nah.
No, I'm good. I had enough Avatar.
You didn't even like Avatar when it first came out?
No. Yeah, I thought it was average.
As somebody who thought the movie was pretty good, decent. It wasn't anything fantastic. Better than Tenet. Better than Rocky IV.
You take that back. Rocky IV's a masterpiece.
No. I would be, honestly, I would have been interested because the world was really vibrant and beautiful and fun and creative. But this is just way too late. This is like 10 years too late. So odd time to bring it back. We'll see how it does. Another big game that was announced, Elden Ring, showed new footage. This is a game developed by the developer who made Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls. But it's written by the Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin. So people are really excited to see what he can do in the video game space. Very little is known about the game, but people are already really excited for it. The big game that I'm excited for is Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is just a Jurassic Park tycoon sim.
Oh, good for you.
Just for you, Mike.
Look, just for me, I had to mention it. Look, have you ever known the thrill of creating a theme park and then letting a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the middle of it? Because it's awesome, and you should try.
I have the feeling of creating a city and then having a meteor hit it.
Same thing, but this meteor has legs and can roar.
Yeah,
So
I like my SimCity.
You're not a big dinosaur fan,
No,
but
I'm
let me
not.
tell you something. The preview of this game has already got me really excited. I mean, as a kid, it was my dream to come up with my own Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic World Evolution game was pretty good. This one is promising even more dinosaurs, 75 different dinosaurs, so a huge roster of dinosaurs coming out on all the major consoles later this year, so definitely on my radar. But the big story, I think, probably the biggest story of E3 was the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. They stole the show easily. This is the first E3, like I mentioned last week, after Microsoft and Xbox bought Bethesda. And I think they came out with one key theme. The exclusives drought is over. Xbox announced a slew of major exclusives from both existing and brand new franchises. Right off the bat, Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite. They announced that the multiplayer of Halo will be free to play. So you don't have to buy the whole game. You can just play the multiplayer free to play. And that's going to bring in, millions of gamers right there. I think that's a fantastic move. Halo's a huge franchise. It's going to drive people to the Xbox console once again. But they also announced games like Contraband, a co-op smuggling or smugglers game, Redfall, a co-op vampire shooter. But the two big ones, I think, directly from Bethesda, Starfield, which is from the developers of Skyrim and Fallout, is being dubbed as Skyrim in Space or a Han Solo simulator, completely Xbox exclusive. You can't get that on PlayStation or Switch. Xbox and PC are the only places you can play it for fans of The Elder Scrolls and Fallout. That's huge. That you have to buy an Xbox. That is such a big get for Xbox. And I know for you personally, this next one, Outer Worlds 2, is Xbox exclusive as well. Again, the big criticism used to be Halo, Gears of War, Forza. That's it. They came out 6, 7 big console exclusives. I mean, you're talking open world RPG exclusives. This isn't just a shooter like Halo. These are like really big, meaty offerings. Rich, what do you think about this? This kind of changes the landscape. Before, the knock against Xbox was no exclusives. Now
they got some and they're using it. And of course, one of them is going to be Outer Worlds 2, which I'm very sad about because I loved the first Outer Worlds.
Are you going to go buy an Xbox?
I don't know. Maybe I'll play it on PC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, this raises the next question. In addition to all this, they also focus on Game Pass. All of these games are free day one on Game Pass. If you subscribe to Game Pass and Xbox Live, you can play them through that service. Game Pass is Microsoft and Xbox's games as a service, right? You subscribe monthly, and you can download and play a rotating roster of hundreds of games.
Yep.
They also announced that they're looking to bring Game Pass to TVs and possibly streaming sticks. So really emphasizing, highlighting this, signaling that Xbox could potentially move more into the games as a service strategy in the near future. They also recently opened up Game Pass to streaming on iOS, Android, and PC through a web browser. So they really want to gain subscribers because they know that's where the real revenue is. It's like a gym membership.
Yep.
You pay $10 a month, you forget that you have it, and they literally just make $120 per person per year.
Yep, just collect the money.
Yeah. What do you think? Is that something that you could see people doing?
Do you think that graphically it's going to be the same, though?
That's a good point. So I recently tried a trial for PlayStation Now, which is PlayStation's, Game Pass alternative. I tried streaming games, and it's a little stuttery streaming games. If it's an action game, you're going to have a bad time. So something like trying to stream like a Halo would be really tough. If you're able to download a copy, that might be different because you're playing it locally. I guess it really depends on, because they're Xbox and PC. So if they're on PC, they're, I would assume, scalable, right?
I guess, yeah.
You tweak the settings and maybe you can play it on underpowered hardware.
Yeah, like a low resolution.
Like a low resolution, like 720p instead of 4K. So I guess it really depends on, the fine details. But I could see myself personally, I have a Mac, obviously, but I can run Windows on a Mac. This would maybe persuade me to get a copy of Windows, run it on Mac and get Game Pass and, play a couple games, subscribe for a couple months and then, unsubscribe. I mean, it's not a bad idea from Microsoft and Xbox's perspective.
Yeah. I think you need to work out a couple more kinks with the whole, having the games work in like a cloud or some sort of
I really
subscription
want to
setting.
know if you can download the games.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if Google couldn't figure out if Google
Stadia.
couldn't figure it out with Stadia, I don't know how much better Microsoft and Sony could do,
Now, I'm assuming because these games are going to be on PC, that you should be able to download them from Game Pass, right?
It would make sense, but I don't know. Maybe you can't because it's a subscription service. So it may be an interesting avenue to look down.
Yeah. So, hopefully we'll. I'm gonna look this up. Yes, you can play Xbox Game Pass games offline, but it requires a decent amount of fiddling. I'm just reading some
That's
basic.
a technical term. we have the fiddling.
That's a technical term. Yeah. I'm just doing some real quick research here to see if I can find anything.
This bad boy here can fit so much fiddling right here.
It can fit a lot of fiddling.
That's the gimmick.
Yeah. So it's definitely something to look into. It's something that I would be interested in as a PlayStation gamer. I would be seriously interested in getting a Game Pass subscription if I'm able to download them onto, a Windows environment on my computer.
Yep. Okay, so real quick,
Yeah.
there's one more game that we want to talk about before we wrap up entertainment, and this is interesting that caught our eye. Guardians of the Galaxy is going to have a video game, but it is not going to be based on the current Marvel Cinematic Universe films. It's going to be its own standalone story, its own standalone look. But there is some consistencies, like the 80s music and stuff like that.
Right.
It looks good. The trailer was released at E3 with some gameplay footage. We both watched some bits of it.
It was a beefy demonstration. It was like 11 minutes of gameplay, which you like to see. It's great because it's coming out later this year. I love it when they announce a game and announce a release date later the same year. Like it always
not 5 years from now.
Not 5 years, right? Like it just kills you.
BioShock.
Right, exactly.
God of War.
Yeah, which just got delayed. But I'm really excited about this Guardians of the Galaxy. It seems like something that would be multiplayer, but I'm happy to say that it's not. It's fully single player, no microtransactions, no loot boxes, no DLC. There's no multiplayer component. So it's continuing Marvel's approach to video games that they want many different styles of game that are different from the MCU, and they want them done by all different developers all over the place. So obviously we have Spider-Man, we have Marvel's Avengers, and now we have Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm really excited that it's single player because as I was watching the gameplay, it lets you play as Star-Lord. You don't even switch characters. You only play as Star-Lord, but it means that it's a more curated story. You know, it allows the characters to interact around you, your squad, and you get a feel for them instead of constantly jumping back and forth between characters. It lets them, as the developer said, revolve around you as the player character. There's decisions in the gameplay and in dialogue, that directs the team where to go and, what you'll experience in the game, I assume. And the thing that I liked is during gameplay, you issue commands to your squad mates. So you can have them use certain abilities at certain times, and you create that, synergy, quote unquote, as you're playing. It seemed really cool.
Yeah, it reminded me of Mass Effect.
Yeah, you said that while you're watching it. It seemed like, you're this rogue band of misfits, just sort of, and you're the commander issuing orders.
Yeah, sounds to me like Mass Effect. So I'm all for it. It sounds great. I love that the 80s music isn't forgotten about, that it's a game mechanic in this.
Yeah, it's an actual game mechanic and I thought this was hilarious, and again, highlighting the humor of the franchise, where Star-Lord can gather the gang for a quote-unquote huddle, an inspirational speech, and it gives you dialogue prompts. And if you select the correct dialogue prompts for the mood of the team, they give you input. If you, respond accordingly, everybody gets a boost in the upcoming battle. And there's this awesome 80s music track that plays. If you don't get the dialogue prompts correct, Star-Lord himself still gets a boost because he thinks he's awesome, and everybody else just sort of goes about their day like, Star-Lord, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I like that it's an actual mechanic that as you're playing, you know, you have an opportunity to like kick off this like great musical segment, and everybody is like, you know, on fire and energized and boosted up. It's just really taps into that like I feel like they really hit on those key themes of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Being funny, being, you know, sort of like aggressively edgy, being very 80s focused, and having that, you know, sort of always at odds butting heads teamwork style, which I think having it single player will be easier to pull off than having all those different characters player controlled.
Yeah.
You know, it lets them control it a little bit better.
Yeah, usually when you have one character, usually the story is a little bit better because you just focus on the interactions between that character and everybody else. So I'm looking forward to this as well.
Yeah,
seems pretty cool.
Cautiously optimistic, have to say.
All right, well, we have to end it right there because we have to jump into our third and final portion of the show where we go over odd news and the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda bastards. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story every week, and he keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because this segment always takes us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to dive on in. I'm ready to take this journey. Rich, where are we heading to?
All right, so this one, we're going to Ohio.
Okay. The Forgotten Land?
Yes, but yeah, you know what? That's appropriate. Forgotten Land. Sure, let's go with that. Because maybe some people in Ohio feel like they've been forgotten.
Okay.
Usually, I don't want to...
They're feeling left out, forgotten, downtrodden. Right. Okay.
So usually, I don't want to bring up politics. But this guy, he did something that we have to talk about.
Okay.
A 70-year-old Ohio man.
Oh, boy.
Who decided to defecate in front of neighbors' houses told police that, quote, he did so because his neighbors are Democrats and he is a Trump man. Pepsi Man! Or I guess you could be Pepsi Man. Sure. Trump. That's just weird.
Trump or Pepsi?
I never heard somebody refer to themselves as a Trump man.
Yeah.
It sounds like a weird, forgotten superhero.
Trump man?
Trump man. Pepsi Man! Just as lame as Pepsi Man. I don't know. It's just a weird... I never heard somebody call themselves, I'm a Trump man.
Yeah, it is a weird thing to claim.
Yeah.
He said it so proudly. Proud enough that he felt no shame pooping in front of someone's house.
Yep. Also, how does he know for sure that all of his neighbors are do you have
all of his neighbors? How many houses did he poop in front of?
So he got caught at 3:15 in the morning.
Okay.
From one of the
have
neighbors.
Nothing better to do?
No, 3:15 in the morning. I gotta pinch a loaf.
Look, that requires so much effort.
Yes.
Because you're in bed, you're asleep. You wake up, you're like, oh my god, I gotta go. Wait, I know. You put your clothes back on, you shuffle down the stairs, you out the door.
I'm going to get this guy back.
You got to bring toilet paper with you.
I don't know. Do you think he
if
cares about that?
If you're pooping outside, maybe. Yeah. Maybe not.
By the way, here is a photo of the Trump man. There he is, and I got him right next to Trump hugging him. So there you go. He's Trump man.
Wait, is that legit?
No, that's the...
Is that Photoshopped?
It's just... It wasn't even Photoshopped. It's just you graphically put the image on top of the other.
Okay.
So
I was just trying to figure out what's happening in this picture.
Yeah, Trump man. This is the
there
guy.
He is.
His name is Jerry Detrick.
Okay.
He is the serial pooper, as the police called him. He said, cops said that they saw a man squatting down and relieving himself near a home in the area of where is this?
I don't know.
Ohio, but they don't have. Oh, here it is. Greenville, a city in western Ohio.
Okay. I'm going to look up this Greenville, Ohio.
He is a retired high school teacher.
Aw, man.
Yeah, how do you like that? He's teaching your kids, and he's pooping in front of everybody's lawn.
That sucks.
He confessed that he did this multiple times and says that he did so because he wanted to show the Democrats up and that he is the true Trump man.
Really? Why are you going out of your way to poop on people's property? For what? He wants to show them up?
Yeah.
What do you think this is going to accomplish? Do you think that Trump is going to fly down and give him a pat on the back or some bull?
Yes. Look, I heard you were doing magnificent dumps.
You're doing the Lord's work, okay?
I heard you did magnificent dumps.
I've seen a lot of bull in my day, and I have got to say, I am the master of bull. I see it a lot, and you are one of the best at doing the bull.
You had fantastic dumps.
Fantastic dumps. The biggest dumps.
By the way, I actually have your question answered here.
Okay.
According to the police report, he also would constantly leave behind 3 or 4 crumpled up restaurant napkins that he used to clean himself.
Oh, man.
So he tried to keep himself clean.
Restaurant napkins, too? He's just like, oh, God. I don't know if you're getting clean with a restaurant napkin.
That was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
He is going to be cited for littering, which is a misdemeanor, and he will have further charges at the end of the month. So we'll see what his final punishment will be. But I imagine it's not going to be a whole lot if he's just getting a misdemeanor count.
Yeah,
but that's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
And he does it multiple times.
Yeah, right?
This wasn't one and done. It wasn't like he had a wacky idea at 3 in the morning.
This was like a vendetta.
Yeah.
But it doesn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Not very good.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful day.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not whatever your politics are, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And no politician's going to celebrate you for pooping in front of somebody else's house.
I don't know. Maybe Trump will. He's going to come down. He's going
to come down, personally congratulate him.
Yep. Officer, I will pay. Officer, I will pay for this man's bail.
I will pay the bail. I will pay any fines. This man is a true American hero. Okay. Okay.
I know heroes. This guy's fantastic.
Some people would say I'm a hero. Many people. Some people say that I'm very heroic. I've done heroic things, and this man's very heroic.
Look, he calls himself Trump man. All right, there's no better name that you could name yourself. Okay. No better name. So,
it's also really weird. I'm a true Trump man. What? You have a crush on him or something? What is this?
It sounds to me like a weird superhero name. I'm Trump man.
Trump man.
What? What's your superpower?
Pooping.
Yeah, apparently pooping.
He has the ability to summon a poop at any time, any place, on will. You know? That's a terrifying super ability. Think about it. They have you hostage. You're just watch this. Boom. Blast one right there.
Random connection. There was a guy on Jackass. He I forget I forget what his name was, but he did the stunt where he went into like a Home Depot and he actually took a dump in a toilet, like right.
That's just messed up.
Yeah, and he claimed that he could just poop on command, and I've never heard anybody say else. Like, nobody challenged him on it. Nobody. I've never heard that to be like a special bodily control.
Yeah,
I can poop on demand.
I mean, like, so say he hadn't eaten anything in a while.
Yeah, what happens if you're stranded on an island and you don't eat anything?
If he can still poop, he can still just, like, I don't understand how.
By the way,
would...
that's the literal definition of you being full of crap.
Yes.
Like, your body's just constantly churning.
You cannot neither create nor destroy matter. This guy is creating matter inside his body.
Yeah.
And
I forget his name now off the top of my head, but he did the stunt where he pooped in a toilet at like a Home Depot.
Man, that's gross. That's not a stunt. That's just making some poor Home Depot worker's day a lot worse.
Yeah, I would figure with them being an actual, since it was sponsored by MTV, I would hope
it was probably scripted.
Yeah, I hope it was scripted, or at least they went back in there and like gave the business like $10,000 or something,
or like just bought the toilet off
bought
the show
toilet,
floor and just like left with it.
Right. I hope they did something with it.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty dumb if
That'd be pretty
lame.
crappy.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
Oh, I'm so proud of myself.
Yep. So maybe he should get together with Trump Man, and they could
the poop posse.
They could poop. Yeah, the poop posse. They could go all over America.
They go pooping everywhere.
Poop across America.
Poop across America. It's their goal to poop in every single one of the 50 states, plus the District of Columbia.
There you go. They're its own thing.
That's right. And Puerto Rico.
Sure. Get their ass down to Puerto Rico. So there you go. Maybe
poop across America. Now that is something that could truly unify people.
Yeah.
Because everyone poops.
Yeah. Everyone has. There you
poop goes across political lines, Rich.
It does.
Republicans have to poop. Democrats have to poop.
Whether you're a Trump man or a stunt man on Jackass.
That's right.
It could bring the world together.
Think about it. Everybody is vulnerable when they're pooping.
Yep.
And so just think about your fellow humans, and use that to bond with them.
Okay. So there you go. That's what we have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're trying to bring people together somehow with poop, but
it's definitely not one of my better moments.
There you go. But with that, we are officially done all of our news topics. So it is time to start wrapping up this episode. Thank you guys for watching and listening to the Crispy Noodle podcast this week. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you're following us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole shebang.
That's right. In addition to the whole shebang, you can also get the video version of the podcast on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to the Crispy Noodle Podcast YouTube channel. You can also get the audio version of the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon devices. So make sure you search for, download, and subscribe to the Crispy Noodle Podcast on either YouTube or the podcast service of your choice.
That's right. We also have a SoundCloud page where we've got the mini noodles, quick promo clips of some of our best moments on the show. Check that out as well.
That's right. So many ways to get in touch with and share the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you want to get in touch with us individually on Twitter and share those sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us there. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on the Twitters and let us know what's happening with you. If you've got a news story or topic that you want us to talk about, let us know. If you got an odd news story, send it my way. And if we talk about it, we'll give you a Crispy Noodle shout out. Yeah, why not? Take advantage of that. We listen to all suggestions.
Do it. Do it now.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now. Sounded like Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now.
I'm like the little girl in the South Korean bag.
Yeah.
I'm like very angry.
No, it's this one.
Which
this
one? That one. Oh.
This one she's very angry at. She's, eat it now. You better eat this now. Do it now.
Eat it now.
Well,
share your stories now.
That's what we'll do as we wrap up the show. We're going to eat the rest of these snacks. I'm going to enjoy that one. The
Oh, yeah.
chicken corn puffs.
The fried chicken corn puffs.
Tastes like Captain Crunch and General Tso's chicken. Who knew that would be the melody to come together and win my heart?
That's right.
Yep. But for right now, we got to wrap this up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That will do it. You got anything else, Mike?
No, I'm good. I'm ready to snack.
All right, we're going to go snack. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.